Hi everyone, I'm Farah Manifat, a master's student in Urban Studies and Planning in Real Estate Economics. Today I'm presenting my master's thesis, and this thesis was done under supervision of Assistant Professor Kirsi Karayakinen. Developing effective land use policies can help in managing wicked environmental problems, like coastal flooding. Sea level rise is known to be a wicked environmental problem, which poses a risk to waterfront areas at different cities. The study area for this thesis is coastal areas of Helsinki and Espoo municipalities. And this study aims to evaluate the effectiveness of Finnish land use policies in preventing the risk of coastal flooding. To accomplish this goal, this thesis will track the effects of actual effects of land use policies and then compare these effects to the intended goals to see how effective these policies were. And the time frame of this study expands from 2000 until 2018. The research questions are as follows. How effective are municipal land use policies in preventing the risk of coastal flooding in waterfront areas of Helsinki and Espoo regions? And why and to what extent is coastal flooding a wicked problem? The theory suggests that wicked problems have no technical solutions, but these problems will respond to institutional and political approaches. This response depends on the attributes of the problem, and these attributes contain causal sources, causal mechanisms, and cumulative effects. This study focuses on the last attribute. It means cumulative effects, because land use policy effectiveness is a feature indicating the correspondence between intended goals of the policies and actual effects of land use policies. Therefore, this thesis track the effects of the actual effects of land use policies and then compare these to the intended goals. To evaluate the effectiveness of land use policy, we need to detect the effects first. And then in the next step, I am going to introduce the data and the method used in this study. The data that is used in this study is provided by Finnish Environment Institute SUKE, which contain Korean land use cover dataset and the data regarding the flood risks and their probability of occurrence for the study region. In addition, for evaluating land use policies, several policy documents were reviewed, such as international guidelines for land use planning and regulations, national legislations, for example, Land Use and Building Act, and regional plans, local master plans, detailed plans, and any other project that were applied to the study area. And for the tools and method, we used GIS software for analyzing land use cover data and comparing the land use cover in the year 2000 and 2018. And the method is used for comparing these effects of land use policies is called the backcasting method. It means we produce a simulation for the last year, which is 2018, and then look back to the effects and see how these changes have been made. And for the purpose of simulation, land use simulation, the software named GOSOS FLUS was used, and according to this software, the final simulation that is used in this study shows a excellent score in overall accuracy and reliability. The results of this study shows that the effects of land use policies applied to the coastal areas are quite well, because the fewer land use types, vulnerable land use types like residential areas and human built up areas are within the zones of coastal flooding risks in 2018 compared to 2000. The actual effects shows a good performance of land use planning in this area. The land use policies that were effective the most among all the land use policies that have been studied in this area were the ones focused on the green network connection in both Helsinki and Espoo coastal regions. This study suggests a framework for evaluating the effectiveness of land use policies. This developed framework outperforms existing methods for evaluation the effects of land use policies. And the target application of this framework is to track the actual effects of land use policies. And we can evaluate different policy sets according to the different land use conversions using this framework. And as I mentioned before, the reliability and overall accuracy of this framework has been tested, and it was satisfying. This is the reference used, and thank you for your attention.